How is it going, guys? My name is Wanty and welcome back to Katawa Shojou. Now, I'm actually back from Cornwall now. Even though, apparently, I only left yesterday. But, yeah, basically, I'm back from Cornwall. I feel a little bit better. Like, I'm still struggling ever so slightly with, like, regards to speaking and doing things and stuff. But I can actually do the voices now, so I feel like I could record 2 or 3. So, within 2 or 3 days as well, within, like, 2 or 3 days, I feel like I'll be back to my normal self. I'll be able to actually speak again, and I'll be able to not wake up in the morning and die from hay fever. But, yeah, it's been a while since I recorded this, and I've actually really missed it. I didn't think I would, but I've really missed it. But it was a good break, really enjoyed it, so, yeah, let's get back into this. As soon as it becomes apparent that I'm not going to suddenly keel over, Emmy takes off on her sprints. I don't know how the hell she can manage to sprint after running a mile, but I guess she's in much better shape than I am. Once again, I walk around the track. I can't help watching Emmy sprint. It's weird, but she's like a different person when she's pushing herself. Last time I noticed her eyes, but this time it's her mouth that catches my attention. She's not wearing her normal grin. She's still smiling, but there's a tightness to it. It's almost grim, like she's fighting a losing battle but doesn't care. She seems to be running harder, like she did yesterday. Sweat has started to pour down her face, but she keeps going. Her mouth finally opens as she can no longer get enough air through her nose. As she passes me once more, legs pumping, arms swinging in time, and her lips slightly parted, she looks beautiful. Damn, son! After we've both taken some laps around the track to cool down, Emmy changes back to her usual self. The transformation I saw in her is gone. Not bad today, Hizal. There's almost admiration in her voice. What do you mean? I would have stopped if you hadn't yelled at me. Emmy colours a little, slightly embarrassed about her outburst. Sorry about that. I can't stand to see people give up. Especially about something like this. Saying I can't go on is silly when you're obviously going on while you're saying it. That's what this is all about. What? Saying silly things? Emmy sticks her tongue out at me. Idiot. I mean showing that you're alive. Showing her I'm alive, huh? I didn't know it had to be so painful. But it does feel pretty good despite that. Besides, this is one of the hardest days. What do you mean? Whenever you start a workout, it's difficult the first day, really hard the second day, and then the third day is easier. You still get the days that are really hard, but they'll pop up less and less. So this will eventually get really easy, huh? Yeah, of course. But then you have to increase the difficulty or you'll never get ahead. That's actually true. Like, it does get really, really hard the second day, and then the third day, you're kind of used to it. Like, when I was doing here, the musical up in Carlisle, I was going to the gym every day after rehearsals, which, to be honest, I really didn't need to do because I was getting that much exercise from it anyway, but you get really used to it really quickly, and it just starts to get really easy, and unless you proper increase the difficulty, like really increase the weights, really increase the time you're running, you won't be feeling any difference, so it's just completely right. Like she says here, you'll just get complacent and you'll lose the sense of accomplishment. You'll forget that you're actually trying to improve and you'll just start to feel like, oh, I might as well do the gym. You've got to keep pushing yourself. It's such a difficult cycle, and this microphone is really weird. So I just have to run more than 4 laps, huh? Yep, but not for a while. You'll have to be careful, you know? A thought strikes Emmy, and her face lights up. Got it! Got what? You can come with me to see the nurse. That way you won't fall over dead or anything. How charming. When? Right now, of course. You'll need a shower and everything, right? We don't have much time then. Grabbing my hand, she's off, pulling me along with her. Ah, it's so cute! Ah! My goodness, you're in a hurry today, aren't you, Emmy? I have no idea how we got to the nurse's office so fast, but here we are. The nurse grins at Emmy and seems to completely ignore me. You've got plenty of time to take a shower and get to class, you know. There's no need to run through the hallways like that. I could hear you coming a mile away. Somehow, it doesn't seem like he's actually scolding Emmy at all. This is like a sort of routine between the two of them. Emmy does a passable imitation of remorse. I'm sorry, I won't ever do it again. The nurse and Emmy both laugh at some private joke. Suddenly, it seems that he notices me. Ah, hello, Hizal. What brings you here? Well, Hizal has officially joined me on my morning runs. Oh, I hate it when they pull that. I hate it when dialogue does that in visual novels, because it's just like, I want to speak, let me speak. I start to explain, but Emmy cuts me off. You don't say! I thought he might need to visit you so that he doesn't die or anything. The nurse raises his eyebrows in mock horror. Yes, that would certainly put me out of a job fast, wouldn't it? Well then, Hizal, let's have a look at you. Lift up your shirt, would you? I'm suddenly very conscious of the fact that Emmy's in the room with me and blush in spite of myself. The nurse seems to sense my discomfort, but it only seems to amuse him. A bit shy, are we? He makes an apologetic bow to Emmy. Sorry, Emmy. I tried to get you a free show, but it doesn't seem to have worked. Emmy stiffens slightly and fires a look of annoyance at him. You're an asshole. Why? Oh my god. Oh my god. Why is he an asshole for this? Why? Emmy bows to me apologetically. I'll wait outside, okay, Hizal? Just... Ugh. I begin to stammer that it's not really a big deal and she doesn't have to leave, but she's already out the door, and the nurse is laughing as he watches her go. Still got it. Heh. I don't follow. He laughs again like he's in some kind of joke. He's in on some joke that's over my head. I can still get her flustered. It's a competition of sorts we've had going on for a while now. It sounds incredibly sinister to me, and it sounds like the nurse realizes that too. That sounded a lot worse than it actually is, come to think of it. I wasn't going to say anything. No, you're right. I should fill you in so that you don't get the wrong idea. I'm actually relatively new here, you see. I got hired on the same year Emmy started going here. Before that, I worked with Emmy during her initial rehab following her accident. Hold on, what? We had to amputate her legs after a really nasty car wreck. It nearly killed her, and succeeded. He shuts up abruptly. I blink at receiving this unexpected piece of news. Well, that's not my place to say. Anyway, we've known each other for quite a while, so we have a slightly more familiar relationship than is strictly professional. He seems embarrassed, like he's done something stupid. I guess he's really worried about that. I wave a hand to let him know it's not a big deal. Don't worry, sir. I promise I'm going to be discreet. I had been wondering about what caused Emmy to lose her legs, and that was one of the scenarios I thought of. There were only so many ways that could have happened, but actually hearing about the facts, it's a little shocking. Well, thanks. You're a good kid, Hizal. I can see why Emmy became friends with you. She's quite indomitable, you know. What do you mean? You didn't see her learning to walk. She'd go for so much longer than the others in the hospital. She refused to quit. Normally it takes years to get to a point where you can even think about running again. Emmy did it all in about a year. He always seems proud of her, like a father who watches his daughter win a competition or something. Hell, she'd probably have done it faster if not for the fact we wouldn't let her. Wouldn't let her? Why not? Because she'd go for so long that her legs would start bleeding where they met her prosthetics. It's a real concern. It's why she comes by every day after she runs. To say nothing of the risk of infection if her legs get cut up and her prosthetics are dirty. But enough about that. If we don't get you on your race soon, Emmy will think we're up to something. As he says this, he gives a wink and begins checking my heartbeat. The stethoscope is way too cold. He really should have heated it up or something before he used it. After a few moments, he leans back, satisfied. Well, you sound pretty good to me, Hizal. You didn't have any chest pains while you were running, do you? No, not really. I had some trouble catching my breath, though, and my heart was racing by the end, too. The nurse frowns as I say this, but then shrugs. It's probably just because you're out of shape. But if you don't improve, then you should let me know, okay? Don't push yourself too much. And of course, if you have any chest pains, come to me immediately, right? I put my shirt back on and the nurse leans out of the doorway to call in Emmy. What took you so long? Now I'm gonna be late. The nurse gives me a significant look. I was just seducing Hizal, that's all. What? Come on, what have I told you about seducing my friend? Oh, that's brilliant. I expected Emmy to be shocked by this, but instead she seems merely annoyed, scolding the nurse as if he were a child stealing cookies. Meanwhile, I try hard not to blush at the nurse's innuendo. I'll try not to do it again, though. I fear young Hizal may be lost to the female gender forever. Not freaking likely. I can't deal with this. It's making me cough. Oh my god! Oh my god! Wow! I will try to edit out that little coughing fit. I didn't mean to say that out loud, but both the nurse and Emmy regard me for a moment before bursting into laughter again. Told you he was funny, didn't I? Huh? I guess Emmy does talk to the nurse about a lot of stuff. Well, Hazel, you should probably get moving. You still need a shower before class starts, don't you? Crap, he's got a point. And it looks like I've only got half an hour. Thanks for your time. I'll see you later, Emmy. I dash out of the room as the nurse begins to remove Emmy's prosthetics. As I head down the hallway, I can just barely hear his voice drifting after me. Emmy, you've got to be more careful. Oh, damn. She's doing things. She's being too rough. She needs to stop. That was bad. She basically... I feel like she's going to have some kind of accident, and it's going to come to a point where it's like... I don't know. Oh, God, this is scaring me. I'm scaring myself, actually, thinking of the possibilities of the way this could go. I make it back up to my room and shower in record time. It occurs to me that I've already been up for 4 hours and class hasn't even started yet. This is going to be a really, really long day. I hope I don't fall asleep in class. And that's... Oh, it's a little hot. I haven't seen that transition in a while. I've missed it. I've missed it a lot. Ah, dearie me. And he's awake. The morning sunlight streaming through my windows wakes me up instead of my alarm, and I realise that it must be Sunday. Emmy has kindly deigned to give me weekends off from our morning runs. I don't actually know if I woke up at all yesterday, or if I just slept through the entire day. My legs groan in protest as I lever myself out of bed. All this running has really taken it out of me. Still, I can't deny that Emmy wasn't lying to me. It has gotten a little easier. I'd been worried that the runs would start to wear on my nerves, but thus far I haven't minded them that much. Well, it's only been a week. I suppose that there's plenty of time for me to start dreading the sound of my alarm in the morning. Not that I could ever skip out now. As Emmy said, it's harder to stop a routine when there's another person. And frankly, I don't think I'm equipped to deal with the disappointed Emmy. She'd probably give me those puppy dog eyes and I'd feel terrible about myself. Which reminds me, wasn't I supposed to be somewhere today? Emmy? No! Oh! Did he forget the track meet? Oh, please don't tell me he forgot about the track meet. I'm not reading the text because that's already been said. Crap! Emmy's track meet! I better get a move on if I don't want to miss her running, since she's the only reason I'm even considering going. Otherwise it would defeat the whole purpose of going. Damn, Emmy! Wow, that scared me. And so I soon find myself quite suddenly surrounded by a crowd of people, all turning out to see our track team compete with another school like this one. I'll admit it, it's almost comforting to know we're not the only school like this. After you see that there can be 2 schools with a bunch of defective kids, well, you stop feeling so defective. You also stop feeling unique, which in most cases would be a bad thing, but in this case it sure as hell isn't. That's part of Yamaku's appeal, I guess. Learn that you're not unique. Hell, learn that there's a lot of others who would kill to be saddled with your problem instead of whatever they're dealing with. Some of the kids here aren't here because they're missing a leg or they have a heart condition. Some of them might be here because they're as good as dead in 2, maybe 3 years if they're lucky. And that's only if they get the right sort of care. It's a bitter sort of comfort to be able to say, well, at least I've got a chance of being alive through college, but there it is. I'm brought out of my rather morbid musings by the appearance of Rin near the entrance to the bleachers. You came. Of course, I said I would, didn't I? That doesn't necessarily imply that you had to follow through. Lots of people say things and don't mean them. Well, I don't. Rin shrugs. Seemingly bored with that conversation, she turns on her heels and heads back towards the stands. I owe Emmy money now. Why's that? I didn't think you'd show up. Emmy did. So I owe her 500 yen. You two bet an awful lot, don't you? Another shrug from my armless companion. I don't think so. We enter the bleachers and Rin nods upwards. Up there. I came out to see if you'd come. For the bet, I presume. Rin leads the way, and soon we've settled down on an almost empty bench. There's an older woman sitting next to Rin. Someone's mother, I presume. She's got rather long hair done up in a braid. On seeing Rin, she gives her an oddly familiar-seeming grin. Well, this is surprising. I thought you went to get a snack, not a boy. Huh? A snack? I wondered why I was down there. The woman laughs, again in a way that seems familiar. Where have I seen her before? Well, I suppose you've always been one to go for one thing and bring back another. But I'm being rude. I haven't introduced myself. I'm Mako Ibarazaki, Emi's mother. Pleased to meet you. Well, that explains it. She's like a taller, older, and better endowed Emi. Apart from her hair being a darker shade than Emi's, there's really no mistaking the resemblance. Sorry, I'm Hizao Nakai. And really, you don't have to apologize for not introducing yourself, Miss Ibarazaki. That's really Rin's job in this situation, isn't it? Another laugh from Emi's mother. I take it you've not known Rin for that long, then. It's best not to expect her to remember something like that. She's got other things to think about, I assume. Rin nods, seemingly pleased by this assessment. She's right. I was thinking about sunsets. You see, it's really up to us to make introductions and... oh, damn it. You see, it's really up to us to make introductions and the like. For the lack of any better response, I nod. Miss Ibarazaki leans back on her seat and raises an eyebrow. So how long have you and Rin been dating? Oh! 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 Damn, son. Damn. Oh! Dropping a bomb like that. You can't do this to me. And it's been 16 minutes, god damn it. I thought it'd been longer. God damn it. What? You can't drop a bomb like that. That's like the perfect place to leave it. Why do I have to... Oh, I have to carry on now. My response consists of silence, and my brain suddenly lurches into gear, but just before I can begin to utter a hastily babbled expression, Emi's mother bursts into laughter again. Ha! You're a blusher, aren't you? I don't know if there's any way to keep my dignity in this situation, so I settle for a mumbled response. Maybe. So this must be a new romance then, mustn't it? Wait, that's not the question that... Another laugh. I know, but it's funny to watch you squirm. I'm sorry. Forgive an older woman her amusements. Old woman? She sure doesn't look that old to me. Clearly Emi gets her youthful features from her mother. I suppose I can let it go. How kind of you. It's starting. I direct my attention to the track where they're preparing for the first sprint. It looks like the 400-meter dash. My eyes scan the runners before finding Emi. She's smiling with an almost cocky look on her face. The starter raises his pistol. Emi explodes off the block, disappearing from the starting line in a blur. It's amazing. Even as the other sprinters converge on the lanes closest to the inside of the line, Emi surges to the front of the pack. By the time she rounds the final turn, some of the other runners have caught up with her. Their efforts come to naught, though, since a final burst of speed from Emi leaves them at least half a second behind. Miss Ibarazaki whoops and shouts, applauding wildly, and generally looking like any other parent cheering on their child. Emi bounds off the track, looking pleased with herself. I cheer right along with the rest of them. The announcer, sounding suspiciously like Misha, gleefully gives the results. I think she's gotten faster. I think she's gotten faster since the last time. That was incredible. Miss Ibarazaki grins proudly. Emi's a heck of a runner. We fall silent as the next event is being prepared. I'm surprised to see Emi striding out onto the track again. Wait, didn't she just run? Emi's mother nods. Yes, but she runs multiple events for the team, especially the sprints. It's a lot of running, but Emi can handle it. From the look of things, she's right. Emi doesn't appear to be tired as if she hadn't run the previous event at all. If not for the sweat visible on her shirt, you'd never know. Which event is this? It's the 200-meter dash. She'll do this one, the 100-meter, and the relay. I see. Once again, the pistol sounds, and once again, Emi flies off the block. A thumping sound draws my attention away from the race. It's Rin's foot. She seems completely absorbed in the race. Emi's mother cheers again, and I assume that the race is over. Sprints don't seem to me like they take very long to complete. Your foot. Your foot was bouncing on the bleachers. Oh. You seem pretty into this stuff. I'm surprised. Rin looks at me quizzically. Why wouldn't I be? No reason. I just thought stuff like sports wouldn't interest you. I suppose you're right. It's not that interesting. But I'm watching Emi, not this sport. I don't follow. Emi's the most Emi when she runs. You don't get to see Emi at her Emiest very often. But here you can. See? She directs my attention towards the track again, where the 100-meter dash is about to start. I watch Emi closely. As she gets onto the starter blocks, her whole body seems to relax, but it's a false relaxation. I can see that she's actually like a coiled spring. As the starter tells everyone to get set, her head snaps up, and her eyes narrow slightly. Her mouth curls upward into what could be a grin and what could be a growl. When the pistol goes off, it's as if she'd been unleashed from a cage, like she was always moving at this blinding speed, but we just couldn't see it happening until the starter's pistol dispelled the illusion of motionlessness. It's all over in a few seconds, but in those few seconds, I feel like I just witnessed something very personal for Emmy. As soon as she crossed the finish line, the fierce look was replaced by her normal grin. The conquering general returning to his farm. Amazing. She's really amazing. I've never seen anyone move that fast. Well, don't look at me. I'm far too relaxed to run that fast. No, I think Emi's prowess came from her father's side. At the mention of Emi's father, Miss Ibarozaki looks wistful, almost sad. He got her into running, you know. Yeah, she told me. I'm uncertain as to whether or not it would be rude of me to ask after Emi's father, but after that look on her face a few days ago, I feel compelled to ask. Where is her father now, if I might ask? Emi's mother hesitates, clearly not willing to answer the question, but at the same time not wishing to appear rude. He isn't around anymore. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring up bad memories. Emi just seemed a little sad when she mentioned him earlier. That's not surprising, considering. They were very close. I see. A beeping noise suddenly emanates from Miss Ibarazaki's pocket. Reaching into it, she pulls out a cell phone and looks at it. Honestly, text messages? What is he, 16? Oh, nothing. I've got to meet up with a friend of mine. Will you tell Emmy I'm very proud of her and that I'll call her later tonight? Of course. And I think this is where I'm going to leave it, because I think that's been about 4 or 5 minutes. I think we're on 20 minutes, so yeah, I've missed this game a lot. It's very difficult and daunting for me to actually finish 9 hours of work, come home, record this, get it uploaded the same day. But I love doing it, because I really enjoy reading the game. So thank you very much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this episode. If you have, don't forget to leave a like and all that jazz. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Have a great day and a great life. See you later.